Hello golfers, are you frustrated with hitting fat shots? Well, I've got the solution in this video for you today, and I'm happy to bring it to you. My name is Jess Frank. Been teaching this game for 25 years, if you can believe it. Love helping you play better golf and love bringing you these videos.
From the tee to the green, let us lead the way. Jess Frank's got the tips to enhance your play.
The solution to the fat shot. There's a couple things. Let me explain first where the low point is, and understanding that the low point for a right-handed golfer is underneath the center of their left shoulder. So you have your center of your shoulder, your radius, your arc. The low point is in front of the ball. So many people try to hit at the ball. So when they hit at the ball, they have a tendency to hit behind the ball. Okay, so the first thing is recognizing where actually the low point is. So the best players in the world hit the ground 4 to 6 inches in front of the ball. The lowest point, as the club is descending into the back of the ball, it's going to bottom out 4 to 6 inches in front of the ball. So their divot is always in front of the ball, not behind it. Okay, the poorest players in the game, the way you measure this is that you have an upper center between your shoulders and you have a lower center in the middle of your pelvis. So middle of your shoulders, middle of your pelvis. So if you're someone that hits fat shots, most likely you're moving your centers too far to the right in your backswing. Now, if my low point is up here in front of the ball, 4 to 6 inches in front of it, why would I ever want to move my centers to the right and then have to come all the way back to the left? So most people move their centers to the right, they release their hands or weights back, and they hit way behind the golf ball. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is understand we want to create a centered pivot. The centered pivot are the shoulders moving around the spine, or moving around the center of the shoulders and center of your pelvis. So to do that, okay, we have to keep, number one, we have to keep our weight forward. So when I swing back, I don't want to shift my hips and slide to the right. I want to stay right over the top of the golf ball. That's going to help me move faster forward to be able to bottom out in front of that golf ball every time. So you can see when you're hitting fat shots and you're frustrated, it is the worst thing. So again, what I see is most people moving to the right too much. They're transferring their centers too far to the right, the center of the shoulders, center of the pelvis, too far to the right, then they hit behind the ball. And they can hit a lot behind the ball, or they get a little behind the ball. So the first thing I would say is keep your centers centered and your weight forward. So center centered, weight forward. Okay, and you can see where I can hit in front of the ball every time. So if I just hit a small shot, my goal is to create the low point in front of the ball. I'm going to stay centered and keep my weight forward, and I don't hit it fat. Okay, so that's the first key, having the centers more forward. Okay. So you can say, Jess, I've got my weight forward, I have my centers forward, I still hit it fat. So there's another part to this, and it has to do with controlling your wrist and arms, right? So when I swing back, I stay nice and centered, but if I move forward, I can still release the club head too early and hit behind the ball. So that's another error I'll see from people. They hit the ground too early because they release the hands too soon. So the way I can work with you on this is just make sure centers forward. As I come down, weights forward, you're keeping your right wrist slightly more bent as you come through the ball. So when I come through the ball now, you can see is that my right wrist is still bent. So that will stop me from straightening my right arm and right wrist too soon. So centers forward, keep the right wrist slightly bent, and I do not hit it fat. In fact, I hit that one a little thin, which would be good for someone who's hitting it too fat all the time. Weight forward, centers forward, controlling the wrist. Okay, so if I hit a bigger shot now, really solid. So you can see how my weight's forward, centers are forward. I hit the ground after the ball, so it's not fat anymore. So we're eliminating that frustration. And again, when you're practicing this, I would say start by doing it slowly. So start with feeling the centers here. So you could, when you swing back, you can see my centers are not swaying back. My weight's forward, and my right wrist hasn't, and my right arm hasn't straightened and hit behind it. So the club head's still up in the air, so I can hit the furthest in front of the ball, okay, doing that, all right? So those are the ways that you can eliminate the frustrating fat shot and how to fix it immediately just by knowing that. Because most people say to themselves, I picked my head up, which is the furthest thing from the truth. It's a major myth. And that's just a reaction from people, or they swung too fast or whatever it was. So they're throwing stuff at it because they don't know why they're hitting it fat. So again, if I just had to recap, I'm going to keep my upper center and my lower center over the top of the ball. I'm going to move my weight forward, and I'm going to keep that wrist slightly more bent so I can hit the furthest in front of the ball and through the ball. So we're going to go down the line and show you from there. All right, golfers, so I am giving you the solution to one of the most frustrating shots in golf, the fat shot. So the solution to the fat shot. So basically what we were talking about was having our weight forward. It was keeping our centers, our center of our shoulders, center of the pelvis, stacked on top of each other or centered, moving the weight forward, keeping the right wrist slightly bent, and I can hit the furthest in front of the ball. Okay, there's one other factor to people hitting fat shots, okay? It's called swing direction. So swing direction would mean that if I took the club back, I kept everything in the right position, and I swung the furthest to the right, right? What would happen is I'd hit the furthest behind the ball because my bottom is way back here, and I can hit the ground way behind the ball. A lot of people, again, they think they're lifting their heads or whatever. It's usually, this comes from probably a little better players who swing too much into out, is that they start to say, oh, well, I've been really good hitting draws into out, and then I'm going to swing the club really far to the right because maybe that's going to help me as well. Well, that can end up in fat shots. The other part to that is people who come down really steep and swing really far to the left, and they hit way in front of the ball. Obviously, we don't want either one of those. So if swing direction's an issue, what I would say, break out some sticks, practice not swinging so far to the right. Here's my centered pivot, moving my weight forward. Now you can see where that club head, it's still coming from the inside, still coming from behind my hands, but it's not swinging way to the right anymore. So your swing direction's straighter, which is what we want. So go ahead and do that. So we're going to have our weight forward, centered pivot, and a straighter swing direction. And that is about as solid as I can hit it right there. So those are the ways to the solution to the most frustrating shot in golf, the fat shot. I hope this video helps. Let me know, and I'll see you soon. So golfers, the most frustrating shot in golf is the fat shot, and I have the solution for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please turn on your notifications, like, share, make a comment. Only helps to grow my channel and bring you more valuable content to help your game and play better on the course. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.